we have to stop worrying about going to Pound Town because there's nothing there for you. Because best believe, when you level up, you will not be attracted to that man anymore. That's not even your type. You are just bored and unfocused.
Girl, you're so fly, but I got something I can tell you that'll make you fly, yeah. Elevate you and take you higher. Grant your wishes and your heart's desire. Break it down to a T. Change mindsets, confidence while we get to the money. You got the joy on the inside.
Hi everyone, my name is Saria and welcome to Counting Her Coin, where I share my tips on how to level up your life and jumpstart your femininity journey, jumpstart your financial journey, jumpstart your level up journey. I'm here to get you from ground zero to shiro. And on this channel, we'll be talking about investing, finances, femininity, inner work, and learning all the nuances of being a woman and thriving in this climate. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with a friend. And before we start in the video, don't forget to follow me on my social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Now, let's get into the video. So this is gonna be 5 things to jumpstart your level up journey. I found the level up community years ago, around 2018. At that point in my life, I was wandering aimlessly. I had no real long-term goals. I was very short-sighted. I did not invest any money into myself or the stock market at that point. I didn't even think I could own real estate at the time. So it wasn't even in my foresight to obtain those type of investments. I wasn't reading, so my vocabulary wasn't there as well. And I just wasn't sure of myself around this time. I was 26, going on 27 when I discovered the level up community space. So I was just running amok, basically. And I wasn't happy. I would go out and drink all the time with my friends. At the time, they really weren't my friends. They were just distractions that I filled my life with because I didn't want to take life seriously. So it's a lot easier to go out drinking, talking about things that don't matter, little petty drama, things like that. It wasn't until I decided to change my life is when change started to happen. Looking back on my journey, the past 5 years, I can see how much I've grown as a woman, how much I've leaned into my feminine energy, how much I trust myself. There comes a point where you become sick and tired of being sick and tired because it's lame. Nobody wants to be that way anymore. Like, nobody wants to be stagnant. You're coming across this video, so that tells me that you don't want to be like that anymore either. So let's start with phase 1. Phase 1 is stability. In the beginning of my journey, I did not have a lot of stability in my life. And even in general speaking, in terms of how I grew up, I come from a very low income background, and I literally worked my way up out of that. And at this time, I wasn't making a lot of money. I did not have a car. I lived in a very expensive city with a lot of roommates, and it was very chaotic. There was drama, very toxic. It was not stable, I would say. It was not stable at all. Growing up, it was like that as well. So it's kind of like I carried instability into adulthood. You need to focus on stability. So your number one thing for your level up journey, you need to focus on stability. This can be housing, transportation, stable income, a combination of all 3. That was my number 1 priority, to get out of that housing situation and to get out of chaos, because it's all I knew and I normalized chaos. Room sharing is fine, but be very serious about who you live with and how many people. and really try your best to not just to live with anyone, and do a lot of research, do a lot of interviews, do a lot of Skype sessions, weed through as many people as you can to make sure you get the best candidate to share your space with. From there, this is when I decided to work on my credit. Your credit is so important because it kind of controls everything that you need to do in ground zero, phase one, stability. You need to be able to be approved for a car, for a new apartment, for the things you want to do. And even down the line, if you want to buy a house, if that's a long-term goal for you, you have to get your credit together. So for me, I had a lot of work to do. So at this point, I found a part-time job and I was picking up extra work on the side, and I was flying extra when I could. So now I'm paying off any credit card debt. I'm learning on YouTube how to get lines of credit, and I was opening new credit cards, and I would spend like $10 a month and pay it off just so I can have some credit history. Because I knew eventually I needed to leave California, because there was no way at that time I could afford to even share a 2-bedroom apartment in San Francisco. It wasn't going to happen. So I then started saving my money to leave. I decided that, okay, I'm going to transfer somewhere else, somewhere more affordable, where I can afford to live by myself. Have your short-term goals connected to your long-term goal. My long-term goal at the time was to leave California, buy a car, and get my own place. So I'm doing the work to get there, getting my credit together, paying off debt, getting my finances in order, being responsible, really honing in on what I wanted. So now I have direction. Before, I was just aimlessly moving through my life, and I had no real focus. This is the first time I had real focus in a very long time. So now we're gonna move on to phase two. So this is for people who still live with their family or friends that they grew up with, and the living situation is not healthy. You have to leave the chaos in order to be who you are truly meant to be. And it's really hard to do that when you're with people who have this perception of you, and they had that perception of you for years since you were a child. They can keep you in a box, and that box can keep you stagnant in life if you let it. So for me personally, when I became a flight attendant, that was my way out of that box. Once I became a flight attendant, I got the hell out of Dodge, and I left my hometown. I didn't look back, and I never moved back. And I'm so grateful for that, because I was able to find out who I was. I went through trials and tribulations, and it was necessary for my growth, and it was necessary for me to learn from things and gain wisdom. And to be honest, I don't think I would have ever embarked on my level up journey when I did at 26 if it wasn't for me leaving my hometown. And I also got away from family drama. I wasn't distracted by family drama anymore. I was free. I was gone. I didn't have to deal with it. No one could have like direct access to me, meaning they couldn't like knock on my door with their problems or their energy. I was free from that. Yes, they can call me, but do I have to pick up? It's very freeing to leave your hometown, because now you can be who you are truly meant to be without anyone reminding you who you have been. You cannot heal, you cannot evolve, you cannot be who you're truly meant to be when you have a chaotic household that you live in. You are constantly in the middle of your family's drama. You're constantly bickering with a spouse or your parent. They're driving you crazy, and you're living with your ex-boyfriend. It's not conducive. It's just not helpful for your growth. It's always going to keep you stagnant. It's always going to keep you in a place of scarcity. You're lacking a sense of freedom in your own home because you're constantly walking on eggshells with the people that you live with. Escape the noise, escape the chaos. You have to leave that nest and build a home where it is a suitable place for your healing, for your focus, and for your future. Make a timeline to move out and what you need in order to move. You need savings. You possibly might need to pick up another job or apply for a higher paying job so you can afford to move, pay off some credit card debt, etc. So create a plan in motion. So even if you don't have all the pieces, like you don't know how to get everything in your plan, the fact that you took the time and you're brainstorming ideas is the start. Just start. Just don't think that you're stuck and you can't do anything with your life because you have the situation. There's people who have your situation every day, and it's the time where they decide that they're tired of being sick and tired that they get out of it. The way I was able to leave my hometown so quickly, I left rather quickly once I decided that I didn't want to be there anymore. And I always say I manifested my job because I was so determined to leave my hometown because I was just over everything. I started applying for jobs out of the state. And at the time, I came across a video on YouTube and there was a girl talking about being a flight attendant. I watched like all her videos at the time and I said, oh, okay, maybe I can do that too. And I applied. 2 weeks later, I got hired. 4 weeks later, I was in training. 6 weeks after that, I'm in a whole new city. I don't want you to get discouraged by your situation. Get creative. Use this as a challenge. Use this as motivation to come up with creative ideas to jumpstart your journey. Applying for a job out of state, becoming a nanny, becoming an au pair in a different country, going back to school, applying for grants and scholarships. There are so many ideas you can come up with to get out of your situation, but you have to start by just going online and putting in the effort to find different ideas and juggle it and just try. Everything that jumpstarted my journey was me just trying things. I said, oh, maybe I can find a job. Let me try. Let me go online and see who's hiring. Okay, let me apply for this. Let me learn some new skills so I can be qualified for that. You're not going to change your life by sitting in your house, in your room, on your phone, scrolling. You're just going to keep being there a year, 6 months later, 5 years later. You determine where you're supposed to be. You determine the life you live. You determine what you deserve. No one else is going to fight for your life. No one's going to fight for your healing, and no one's going to feel sorry for you. You got to pick yourself up and get to work. Phase 3, we're going to focus on stable income. Basically, I would have learned a high-paying skill that would have made me more money versus trying to get another job. Because the reality situation is you can have 1 or 2 jobs, and that's about it. It's a lot easier to just gain some skills and get another job. My situation is different, but that's what I would tell you, and that's what I would have done back then. But if you're like me and that's not the route you decide to go on, getting a job, a second job, like as a server, a bartender, bottle girl, or something that can get some fast cash. You work at a golf course, you're a caddy, you're one of the girls who have the drink carts and you go around the golf course and you make money off tips. Get a second job like that. If you feel like you're aimlessly going through life, you're just randomly dating with really no purpose in sight, you find yourself hooking up with guys who don't really care about you, you're in like really dysfunctional relationships with men, you don't have a lot of boundaries, you have a hard time saying no, we have to stop worrying about going to Pound Town because there's nothing there for you. There's nothing there for you, babes. There is nothing in Pound Town for you. We have to get out of this and get into our bag. Because best believe, when you level up, you will not be attracted to that man anymore. That's not even your type. You are just bored and unfocused. In my mind, what I feel, what's meant for me is peace. It's affirming. It's love. It's kind. It's patient. It's not dysfunctional. It's like a really good time for you to really step back and get into who you are, start your inner work, start your healing journey as well, and ask yourself these tough questions and work on yourself. Work on building your confidence, work on building boundaries, saying no to people, because when you come out of this phase, you'll be able to go back into dating with a clearer mind and intentions. Being intentional is so important in dating. And when you're building your stability, your ground zero, this is the perfect time to take a break from all that. Take a break from dating, take a break from Pound Town, and focus on you. So adapting a growth mindset is first being sick of your situation and realizing that you have to save yourself and no one else is coming for you. No one's going to save you. That is the first step of everything. Stop being a victim. Stop being, woe is me, my life sucks, I hate the way I'm living, everything's dark and gloom. Like, being a pessimist is not gonna get you out of it. It's just gonna keep you in the cycle that you're in. Looking at information. Go on YouTube, type in motivational videos, start following creators that inspire you to change. Start changing what you're seeing every day. Take a break from social media and pick up a self-help book. Like, look at what you're doing every day. Are you sleeping in? Are you exercising? Are you even leaving the house? You have to start doing things differently. The way you think, the way you talk, what you're interested in. That's why I love YouTube so much. I started with watching YouTube videos, getting different perspectives, different ideals, different thoughts. And I was seeing how people were living their lives, how they changed their life. And I started taking their advice, what book recommendations, what podcasts they recommended, anything I can get my hands on that was for free. We also are going to unlearn and reprogram our subconscious mind. So we have to unlearn the things that we were taught coming up and reprogram our mind with new information, new ideals that is for our betterment. We are going to unlearn societal conditioning, how women are supposed to act, how we are supposed to dress, what does that look like, depending on how you grew up. For me personally, the narrative of the single, independent Black woman was shoved down my throat. Like, it was shoved down my throat so much. Me thinking I could be in a healthy relationship seemed so foreign to me because all I would see in my life is Black women struggling, Black women leading the household, Black women taking care of the kids and working multiple jobs. That's really all I saw growing up. Energy, like, so from a child, I was very much in my masculine energy, but it was just a defense mechanism because that's how I felt safe. And also, I didn't have like a parent to help me lean into my feminine energy. So I had to unlearn all of that. I had to literally scrub my little brain and let that go and start feeding myself with narratives of being soft and the type of partner I want and a 2-family dynamic that I desired in a future partner. That's what I had to fill that knowledge with. I had to tell myself that I deserve to have a partner who is supportive, who is a provider, who will be there for me and care for me and my needs. I don't have to work long hours to get ahead. You have to be open to new information. You have to be open to change, and you have to be open to seeking this information, because no one is just gonna like give it to you. You have to be actively seeking this new information as well, reading, watching podcasts, looking at different YouTube channels for this information. And over time, your mindset, your ideals of how the world is will drastically change. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give me a thumbs up if you'd enjoyed this video. I would love for you to subscribe to my channel and share this video with a friend. Again, my name is Saria, and this is Counting Her Coin, and I will see you next time. Bye.
Girl, you're so fly, but I got something I can tell you that'll make you fly, yeah. Elevate you and take you high, yeah. Grant your wishes and your heart's desire.